Hello, welcome to our channel, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about valence bond theory, sigma bond and pi bond. Okay, so these are the three topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture. Before we begin our lesson, you can subscribe to our channel, like, share and comment. Okay, now let us start about our discussion, the valence bond theory. So this is also known as VBT. VBT means valence bond theory. So this valence bond theory, it is going to explain about the valence electrons, okay, how the bond is formed based on the valence electrons and so on. So it was first suggested by the Linus Pauling in the year 1954, and he suggested the valence bond theory or VBT. So this valence bond theory is formed by the overlapping of the valence orbitals. So electrons which is present in the electrons that are present in the valence orbitals, and that contains unpaired electrons. So in the previous lesson also we have discussed, so that is the nucleus of the atom. Around the nucleus of the atom there are orbitals. Okay, so these orbitals which are present around these nucleus, so the outermost thing is known as the valence shell. Okay, in the valence shell there you can see the orbital. So the orbitals which are present in it, okay, this is the orbital, these are the orbital that is present in the each and every shell. Okay, so the orbitals that are present in the valence shell, and these orbitals contains electrons. Okay, so these electrons are going to involve in the formation of a bond. So that bond is also covalent bond. So in the last lessons also we have discussed the covalent bond is formed by the mutual sharing of the electrons. So these electrons are shared to form a bond. It means to form one single bond you need two electrons. So for the formation of two bonds we need four electrons. So and so on. So the electrons in the orbitals should be half filled with opposite spin. So let us consider this is an orbital and this is another orbital. So these orbitals should be half filled. So only one electron should be there. Here also one electron should be there. It should not be complete filled. So in this case the bond formation will not be taken place. So it should be half filled. And also there is also another case, that is nothing but they should be opposite direction. So this is in this direction, and another electron which is present in the other orbital should be in the opposite direction, like in this way. Okay, so this is one direction in this way, and one is in this direction. One is clockwise, another is anti-clockwise. Okay, and then only they are going to form a bond. And opposite spin, this is opposite spin, that is clockwise and anti-clockwise, and also half filled. The overlapping of the orbital should be less than 50%. So let us consider this is one orbital, this is another orbital. So in this case the overlapping should be less than 50%, means in this way. So if you see here, this is the less than 50%. So what about 100%? In this is the 100%. Okay, so in this case such kind of bond formation will not be possible. It is not possible in this case. Okay, so the electrons are attracted by the nuclei of the both atoms, and bonds the two atoms, that is nothing but H2. It means hydrogen gas. So in H2 you have seen that two hydrogens are formed, leading to the formation of a H2 molecule. It means two hydrogens are bonded together. So in this case these electrons are attracted. So this is the one hydrogen atom, this is another hydrogen atom. So the electrons that are present here, they are attracted by these nucleus. Okay, so here also it is going to get attracted. So by this way, by the attraction of the nuclei, the bond will be formed. So if the greater the overlapping of the orbitals, then the bond formed will be the stronger. So if there is more overlapping, there will be more stronger bond. And remember one sentence, so if the bond is shorter, it will be more stronger. Okay, more stronger. So if it is much larger, in this case there will be less stronger. Okay, in this case less stronger, and in this case more stronger. So the strength of the bond completely depends upon the how much length it is. If the bond length is less, it will be more stronger. If the bond length is more, it will be less strong. Okay, and next is the sigma bond. So there are two bonds, that is one sigma bond and another is a pi bond. These are the two types of the overlappings that are present. So the sigma bond is one type and another pi bond is another type. So orbitals must have the same sign for the overlapping. Example, plus and plus or minus and minus. So what is plus and plus? For example, if you see here, the this is the formation. For example, this is a node, this is the antinodes. The antinode should be minus and plus. So in this case, generally one is a plus, one is a minus, and another is a plus. So here also it should be plus and it should be minus. In this case only the bond formation will be possible. For example, here if you see here, it is minus, it is plus, it is also a plus, it is minus. Okay, it is minus and it is plus. So the signs are opposite. So if the signs are opposite, then the bond formation will not taken place. So this is the thing that we have to remember. So the bond will be stronger if the end shell is closer to the nucleus. So N is nothing but the principal quantum number. It represents the shell. So the shell number, at what position, what is the number of the shell? For example, N is equal to 1, N is equal to 2, N is equal to 3, and so on. It is going to say about the shell which is present in the atom. So the bond length will be more if the N is further away from the nucleus. So for example, this is the nucleus, and around the nucleus there you can see the orbitals. Okay, for example, not the orbitals, the shells. Okay, the nucleus and shells. So for example, in this case, the distance, if the distance between the nucleus and the shell increases, so what will happen? The distance will be more. And for example, this is another atom. So in this case, if the distance is more from here to here, in this case the length will be more, and also there will be less bond, there will be less bond strength. Okay, bond length will be more, the strength will be less. Okay, and next is the sigma bond. So this bond is formed due to the formation by the head-on-head overlapping or axial overlapping. So here the between the atomic orbitals formed by the forms of covalent bond. So what is meant by head-on-head overlapping? So if you see here, this is the head-on-head overlapping. So this is side-by-side overlapping. So these are the two types that you can see. So here in this case, if the head-on-head overlapping is seen, this is known as sigma bond. If sidewise overlapping is there, it is known as a pi bond. So this is a sigma, this is the pi bond. Okay, we will discuss about the pi bond in the next slide. And now let us discuss about the sigma bond. So the first bond formed between the two atoms is a sigma bond. For example, whether you may take N3, so whether you take nitrogen, in the between the nitrogen there are three bonds. Okay, its valency is 3, so the three bonds will be formed. So out of three bonds, the first bond will be formed will be the sigma bond, remaining only the pi bond. It means any atom, the first formed bond will be the sigma bond. So after the formation of sigma bond, any bond may form, especially the pi bond may form. Okay. So not only pi bond, after formation of sigma bond, the another sigma bond also may form, but the first bond formed should be the sigma bond only. The bond formed will between the two atoms is a sigma bond. The s orbitals, that is, it has a non-directional or it doesn't have any direction, never form the pi bond. For example, if one orbital is s, okay, so one orbital is this, another orbital is p. So between the s and p, the sigma bond will be formed, not a pi bond. Okay. So whenever you see the s, then there is a formation of the sigma bond. Okay. So all single bonded are the sigma bond. Example, whether it may be s and s, the bonds that may be formed between the s and s orbital, or s and p, and the p and p. So in this case, what you will see? You will see only the single bond formation. So in this case, you will see the single sigma bond formation only. Okay. So its bond is more stable due to the less bond length, and also bond energy of the sigma bond is greater than 80 kilocalories per moles. So why its a bond is more stable and more stronger? Why? Because only one reason, that is less bond length. Okay, the sigma bonds are strongest type of the covalent bond when compared to the pi bonds due to the directional overlapping of the orbital. Just now we have discussed, that is the head-on-head overlapping, and also another is side by side, that is sidewise overlapping. So the sigma bond is most simply defined for diatomic molecules. Diatomic molecules means the two atoms will involve in the formation of a bond, that is known as diatomic molecules. Only the sigma bonds is found between the two atoms. So this bond can be rotated. This sigma bond can be easily rotated. It means, so in the protein structure we will discuss about rotation and so on. So just remember, the sigma bond can be rotated. and pi bonds. So the pi bond is formed due to the it is formed due to the formation of lateral overlapping or the parallel overlapping, or you can call it as a sidewise overlapping also. So between atomic orbitals to form a covalent bond, that is example oxygen, nitrogen, and so on. So we have to discuss about the examples in the sigma bond. So we have seen the examples. Now let us draw the structures of it. So for example, if you see the hydrogen 1s1 and also another hydrogen is 1s1. In this case you will see there is a formation. So there is a formation, this is overlapping. Here you can see one electron here, another electron in this direction, so opposite direction leading to formation of a bond. So hence you can write hydrogen. So two hydrogens are bonded with one single covalent bond. So this is also the sigma bond. Okay, so next we will discuss about hydrogen fluoride HF. Okay, in the HF also you will see the hydrogen, that is 1s1, and also the fluorine, that is, so in this case you will see the fluorine. So it's we will write about the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, and also the 2p5. So we will write the electronic configuration for only the 2p5. We don't have any much time or the space. So here you can see the orbitals are filled in this, the electrons are filled in this way. Okay, so the last degenerate orbital, that is pz, will be filled only with one electron. So as a result, what you will see, there is a formation of a bond, that is, so in this case you will see, okay, so one electron from the hydrogen, another electron from the fluorine, leading to the formation of 1s and 2pz. Okay, so this is the 2pz is a degenerate orbital, so this is the 2pz. So as a result you can see in this, as a result it will be formed in this way. So these are two examples in case of the sigma bond. And now the pi bond. So this example is the oxygen and also the nitrogen. Now let us draw the structures for the formation, how it will be formed. So the oxygen diatomic molecule, and also we can see the two bonds between the oxygen. So the first, in this way you can draw in this way. So next you can draw in this way. Okay, so as a result here you can see the pz. Okay, the pz and also the pz bond will be formed. And remember, the first bond formed will be the sigma bond, so hence it is a sigma bond. And next bond formed will be the pi bond. So here you can see the py and py, the py and also the py orbital will be overlapped, as a result leading to the formation of pi bond. Okay, so this is a structure that you can see how oxygen is going to involve in it. Okay, so the next is the nitrogen. So nitrogen, in between the nitrogen, two nitrogens, you can see the three bonds are formed. So the same thing that you have drawn in case of oxygen, you can draw in this way. Okay, the orbitals. And the next is here. Okay, and the opposite side you can draw in this way. So this is another nitrogen, another nitrogen. Okay, and next. So now you can see the pz. Okay, here the pz and pz, pz. Remember, the first bond formed will be the sigma bond. After formation of sigma bond, you can see the py. Here the py and py bond will be formed, leading to the formation of pi bond. Okay, here the pi bond will be formed, the py and also the py. So next will be the px and px. So here you can see the px and the px, leading to the formation of sigma pi bond only. Okay, so this is a structure that you can see in this way. Okay, and next the bond can form between the p and p, p and d, d and d. So this is a pi bond. The bonds are usually weaker than the sigma bond. Why? Because these pi bonds are sidewise overlapping. So as a result, when there is sidewise overlapping, the much strength will not be there. So its bond is weak due to the more length. So the bond will be more length. If the bond length is more, it will be less stable. Okay, less stable or less strong. And its energy is less than 65 kilocalories per mole. And sigma bond is usually seen in polyatomic molecules. Poly means many. Diatomic means the two atoms. So here in case of polyatomic molecules, you will see the pi bond. So it means one or two pi bonds can be formed between the two atoms. So the pi bond is formed after the sigma bond. So that we have seen in the last slide. And the bond rotation is restricted, means the sigma bond is flexible, it can be rotated. By the pi bond is not flexible, so it cannot be rotated. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you, and also you can subscribe to our channel, click and also like, share, and also the comment. You can provide your valuable suggestions in the comment box below, and we will discuss the next topic in the next lesson. Okay.